Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the Marvel Select Iron Man 2, Iron Man, and Mark 6 armor. Now, I've been waiting for this guy for quite some time. He was due out about 2 weeks ago, but he finally came into the store. Of course, you can see the box art there. He comes with his base and two interchangeable hands. It looks like he's got one set of hands clenched in a fist, one set of hands open. And interestingly enough, you can see that the helmet piece there, it doesn't open and close. You can pop it off and pop it back on like it's open, or pop it on like it's permanently closed. Unfortunately, though, I can already tell in packaging they didn't paint Iron Man's armor eyes. They just kind of went with the same generic yellow as the rest of the faceplate, which is pretty disappointing in my opinion. How hard would it have been to put a little blue on there? They already painted the arc reactor. But onto the back of the packaging. Of course, you see the Iron Man Mark 6 up here. Down here you have the Borders exclusive Mark 4. Over here the War Machine, which you will also be seeing a review of. And it says, the Mark 6 armor. No longer powerful enough to deal with his enemies' advanced tech, Tony Stark upgrades his Iron Man armor designs even further to create the Mark 6 Iron Man. With a new and improved arc reactor both powering his armor and keeping him alive, not even the high-tech devastation caused by Whiplash and Hammer Industries can stop the invincible Iron Man in Mark 6 armor. So very nice. You can see on the back of the packaging there, on the back of the packaging his eyes are black. But unlike the actual one we got, which has the blue eyes, the standard yellow eyes, it should have blue eyes. But that being said, I am very excited to have this guy. Let's pull this bad boy out of packaging. And here we have Tony Stark out of packaging. Now, I switched out both his hands. As you can see here, his alternate hands. It seems like the open palmed hands go on much smoother than the fist ones. But that's just a minor little gripe. But I do have two somewhat notable errors to mention right out of packaging. Both my arms they're not very loose, but, they're not quite as tight as I'd like them to be. Which is unfortunate, because the rest of his articulation is fine. The other one is that, I think they went with a very fantastic shade of red. I think all the paint is great. There's a lot of small errors, like, I don't know if the camera picked up, but you can see there's some splotches there on the glove. But most importantly, I'm almost certain the camera won't pick this up, is that right there on Robert Downey Jr.'s nose, or Tony Stark, you can see he's got a couple of splotches of silver paint right on his nose. Now, if you want to display him with the mask down, that's perfectly fine. But seeing as the mask had, no color to its eyes, I was going to display him mask up. Now I've got an error either way, which is unfortunate. But as you can see, I've got him in a pretty nice pose here. And like I said, while there is some looseness to the arms, the articulation, some looseness to the arm articulation, it's not completely terrible. Oops. So pulling him off his base. Of course, this is the, I believe the War Machine and Iron Man come with the exact same base. It's just they both got a different shade of paint. But that's not to say it's not nice. It was a snap together right there at the bottom. Of course, it's got some fairly nice detail all the way around. So I definitely don't mind that they reused that. Pretty massive base, which makes for the figure look even better. Of course, let's go on to Tony's helmet. As you can see, it connects here on top. And you actually just pop this off right here. Hold on, I'm going to need two hands to do this. Oh, and I just knocked the shoulder pad off. The shoulder pads just barely peg in, so while they move around to allow for some more articulation, you're going to be knocking the shoulder pads off on a near constant basis. So pulling this off, let's get this. As you can see, there's just two pegs in it, and like I said, no paint at all in the mask. Come on, Tony, stand up. And going onto his head, or his maskless face, oops. Out of focus. See, there's two notches there for making it look like it's resting on his head, and then two holes in his actual head for making it look like the mask is completely closed. Which, let's get a look at that really quickly. Of course, here's his mask. I've heard some other reviewers on YouTube complain that the mask doesn't rest comfortably on his face, and actually I think with enough force, the only small area you're going to notice is the place they left to it that allows you to pull the mask off. So as you see there, mine's pretty well connected. Now you will notice a little notch right there where you can kind of see Tony's face pulling through. I believe that's actually where you're supposed to lift the mask off, because it's pretty hard to get off there. I mean, there's basically no other way to get it off pulling from anywhere else, so yeah, it's not completely accurate, but that's what you pay for having a removable mask. I mean, you gotta grudgingly accept some flaws sometimes. Of course, like I already said, very nice color in the paint. I definitely think they made the right paint choices. I just think there's a little bit of quality control errors in it. So panning back out. Iron Man's articulation. He can go, once again, shoulder pad pops off, go out to about here. Looks like he would do 360 degrees with his articulation not hindered. Spins at the bicep. I got a little red paint splotch right here too. Bends at the elbow. And wrist joint, although pretty stiff. Also, finding paint errors all over this guy. Got a little notch right here, as you can see, which is unfortunate. Of course, same for both arms. He has the main torso articulation, although he doesn't do any thing at the waist. His legs, they kind of go forward. Not really, though. They spin. Got a joint at the knee and a very slight amount of ankle movement. Of course, same for both legs. So, Marvel Selects are not really known for their articulation. They're really, you know, you buy them, there's 2 or 3 poses, you know you can get them in, and their job is to look fantastic in those 2 to 3 poses. So, that being said, let's go on to the back of this guy. So you can see, once again, a very nice level of detail back here, and also, you have these 2 back flaps, which are like his air brakes when he's flying. There's also some pretty nice detail in there. I don't see why you would pose him with these open, but it's nice they included them. Once again, those are just barely pegged in. I'm assuming they might fall out if you're not careful. Shoulder pad again. It's only this one. It's never that one. I don't know why. So, pegging this back in and putting Tony back on his base. The Marvel Select Iron Man will run you $20 at your local comic shop. Prices on eBay right now are a little steep because this, you know, the movie's hitting and a lot of people want this guy because he looks fantastic. So you might prices on eBay usually run around $25 with shipping. Sometimes you might end up paying $30, which, you know, just wait it out. I'm sure you can find one for $20. So that being said, I like the Marvel Select Iron Man. I do think he has his share of problems. I ran into quite a few paint errors with this guy. There's some looseness in the arms, which it's not major, but it's definitely there. And, you know, really the biggest complaint I have with this guy is paint error. And as you can see here, none of it's really shining through. Now, granted, if I had his mask open, you would definitely be able to tell there's a splotch on Tony Stark's nose. But overall, for $20, I still think this is a great figure that'll look great in your Iron Man 2 collection. You know, maybe look it over in the box and check it out, make sure there's no paint flaws. And that being said, this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube.